Welcome back to a new video here at Life with the Bridges. If you saw our last video, we hand delivered over 170 presents that we had collected to our local hospital so we could make sure that the unfortunate children who were spending Christmas in the hospital had presents to open on Christmas Day. And what started off as a lovely Christmas morning with our boy soon turned into a Christmas nightmare as our boy continued to show scary symptoms of something not being right. And you are now joining us on Boxing Day, where unfortunately things only go from bad to worse. We came down on Boxing Day morning to see how our boy was feeling after being sick yesterday. Within minutes of trying to start a lovely morning, he was instantly showing really worrying signs and something needed to happen.
Wow! What have you found?
It's just yawning.
Good cough, darling. Oh. You okay?
Don't see
That
it.
was silly.
Should we have a little sit down for a second?
It doesn't feel right, does it? Yeah, here it comes.
Oops.
Let's open it. It's not good. He is delirious. He's all over the shop. Something's going wrong, guys. Wow, look at this.
My Portugal.
Paw Patrol. We're just coming up with a plan to take him into hospital, get bags packed. Goodness me. It's all rush, rush, rush. We are heading to hospital. We've packed up our life again. I think this is not good, guys. Goodbye, Bridge HQ. See you when we see you. Let's go.
This Christmas period was turning out to be an absolute nightmare. All the hopes and dreams of being able to spend an incredible time together as a family was quickly turning from magical to miserable, and as parents with a child post-cancer who is still very high risk of relapse, we were absolutely petrified. No words can ever describe the feeling of your life flashing before your eyes again, the past trauma coming back heavier than ever, and the fear of the future and the unknown strangles your life with an infinite amount of power. But we had no choice but to stay as strong as possible and get some answers at whatever it may take. And unfortunately, within the world of cancer, you have to start at the worst case scenario, being relapse, and work your way back. So that is what we were going to do.
This place absolutely haunts me. I'm just trying to go and find a coffee for us and maybe grab us a sandwich just from up the road. Nothing's open because it's Boxing Day. But it's straight back into hospital mode. We need to be strong for Teddy and hydrated and full tummies. So a coffee and a sandwich is absolutely essential so we can make decisions with a level head rather than doing it when we're tired, hungry, and just going through everything else we're going through. But we are trying to stay as calm as possible. He's just had a little bit of water, which is a positive, so we're just going to see how this plays out. I've spoken to Kate, and basically our plan from here is just to bring him into this hospital, our local hospital, which funny enough, we were here 3 days ago delivering 170 presents, not thinking that one of those presents potentially might be coming to our door because we are spending our Christmas period in hospital. But the plan is that we want to just let them know the symptoms that we've seen with Teddy. We've noticed that there are a lot of things flaring up in his CNS, so his central nervous system, so he's obviously potentially been a bit sick. He's glassy-eyed. His speech is very slow in comparison to what it usually is. He's stuttering on words. We even thought we picked up on him being slightly off balance, and all of these things are red flags in regards to a potential relapse. So the way that this would be tested would potentially have a lumbar puncture up at Great Ormond Street Hospital, which it tests his fluid within his spine that goes up into his brain just to see if there is any blasts or cancer cells in his spinal fluid. We've had these done multiple times at the start of Teddy's cancer journey, but that's the plan. We just want to let our local hospital know so then they can get in contact with Gosh, and then Gosh can make all the calls again, and then we'll just follow the lead of Gosh. We are coming in with a strong foot. We are not going to let them brush anything off. We are advocating for him to the high heavens, and so we are going to hopefully get bloods done, even blood films, just to check if there's anything showing up in his in-depth bloods. And yeah, but for now I'm going to go and get a coffee, get us watered, get us fed, then get back to hospital.
As much as I was doing everything in my power to stay calm and positive, my mind was only going to one place, and that was Relapse. So I filled up the car just in case they sent us up to Gosh. When you're in fight or flight, you have to prepare for these things. You have to prepare yourself, but also your life, for everything to come crashing down, and be prepared as much as you can be to be able to drop everything and leave if that's what is needed. You can never prepare for this fully, but we had to do things as best as we could to prepare for what was to come.
So we've been seen by a doctor and they've done all his observations, and we are basically waiting for them to speak to the Gosh team to make sure what sort of bloods they want them to take rather than cannulate him, and then Gosh require more, so which should be after handover, which is at 9 o'clock, so in about 20 minutes, and then we'll see what Gosh say. Positive vibes, chaps, positive vibes.
Although we were showing positive vibes in front of Teddy, we were broken. Why was this happening to our boy? What was the matter? Was it the cancer being back? Was our life going to come crashing down around us again? Was this the start? All these questions flying around the mind of a parent post-cancer, but unfortunately, all of these questions couldn't be answered, and the only thing that would answer these is time.
So we have finally heard from a doctor, not a huge amount of progress, but they have managed to get hold of Great Ormond Street Hospital, and we are still waiting for them to now speak to our consultant at Gosh to understand what bloods they need, and also whether they need imaging done. The thought process behind this is that they obviously only want to prick him once for bloods, and then Gosh tell them that they actually need more bloods and they have to prick him again. So even though it's annoying because it just elongates this waiting game, it's good because we don't want them to cannulate him more than once. Other than that, there isn't really an update. He's pretty lethargic, still stumbling around, still very slow and dreary and glassy-eyed and clingy. But other than that, he's had a tiny bit of water and he's just eaten a little snack, but nothing huge amount. Yeah, he's going for his water.
He's going for water.
You're a superhero, my boy. Happy Boxing Day, by the way, guys. Meant to be a wonderful time of the year. Not in the world of cancer, it isn't.
Just being in the four walls of a hospital was making it so hard to stay strong. The noises, the smells, the familiar faces, the feel of the mattress, and the list continues. All these things just ignite the past trauma we have been through, which naturally heighten our emotions towards the present situation. And in an ideal world, we stay calm and we stay positive and assume it's a winter bug and all will be well. But in reality, you fear the worst, and that swamps any other thought that enters your mind. In this moment, my world was crumbling before we had any results, and the only thing that was stopping me actually falling to pieces was I was in the presence of our reason, our world, and our little cub, and he was my little bit of hope and strength holding me together for him.
It literally just broke my heart. I'm just off to McDonald's to get him some chips because there's nowhere else that does chips. Because everywhere's closed because it's Boxing Day, and I said, I'm just going to go and get you some Tato, mate. And he turned around to me and was like, I don't want to be here, Daddy. I want to go home. And myself and Katie have been trying so hard to keep everything together for him. When I actually believe I know what's to come, I don't believe it's going to result in what we want. I don't believe there's a good outcome that's going to come out of this. And when he looks me in the eyes, it just was like a little bit home, little bit, and I can't take you, mate. I wish I could, but I can't. I think it's going to be bad news, guys. I could be wrong, and I wish with everything I have, I'm wrong. If I'm completely truthful, I believe this is the start of the end. I really do. Oh, come on, Scott. That's not me being pessimistic or just thinking the worst. It's just me being real in terms of the situation and the cards we've been dealt from the start and this prognosis, and it's just fear. I'm scared. It's just me being scared of giving up our life and having to go back to hospital and the unknown, what's to come, and just me being scared of how my wife's going to deal with it and how I'm going to deal with it, and just losing our boy. That's what I'm scared of. It's not me just thinking worst case scenario. It's not as simple as that. Like, there's a lot that goes into the way that we feel. And your boy needs some chips. Right, I'm gonna sort myself out and go and attack the day and be strong. But that's what I believe, guys. But I'm on a mission to get some chips, and until we're told otherwise, we keep grinding and we don't lose hope.
I composed myself as best as I could and re-entered the hospital with two of our boys' favourite things, chippies and a chocolate egg, and it was time to park my emotions and put my big boy pants on for my boy and get this job done.
So we have heard from our doctor here, and they've heard from Great Ormond Street Hospital, and bloods will hopefully be done in the next half an hour. Gosh have ordered them to have extra bloods so they can be sent up to the Great Ormond Street Hospital lab and they can be tested there. They're going to be doing blood films, which was the stage in which we experienced and found out that Teddy had cancer when he got diagnosed from a blood film. So that is good that they are doing those. And Great Ormond Street Hospital have also said that they want imaging done of his head if any symptoms get worse, if he continues to be sick or his balance gets worse or any of the symptoms progress, we can have an emergency head imaging done here at our local hospital. And then they're also going to be moving our checkup at Great Ormond Street Hospital, which was meant to be in March, a lot sooner, but we won't get a date for the next couple of days. So at the minute we are just going to have these bloods done and then potentially get discharged and monitor him like a hawk, and then obviously bring him back in if anything gets worse. As you saw, he's obviously eating his Tato, which is great, but hopefully it stays down. But big cannulation and blood's done in the next 20 minutes. It's going to be tough, but we have some progress.
The bloods were finally done and they hit the vein on the second attempt, and once again our boy was a little hero. It never gets any easier pinning down your child whilst they stare you in the face wondering why you're doing this to them, but it's one of those things. We just had to get through it and comfort him the best way we could.
So all done.
All done.
All done. Blood's done, sent off. Second time cannula. Time to go home and wait for the results. There's only one place we come after that 2-attempt cannula, is the shops, to get whatever he wants, because that's what we do. Anything to make this little boy happy. Another 8 animal additions to the family, but that's what he wanted, and after what we've been through, that's what he gets. I am exhausted, mentally, physically, emotionally exhausted, but we are back at Bridge HQ and attempting to put him down. It is now 10 to 2, so we're usually waking him up at this point, but with the screaming and fighting to have his cannula done twice and so many tears, he is exhausted, absolutely exhausted. So we're going into the worrying nap territory, because it's after naps or sleeps where he seems to be throwing up after. So whether we end up back in hospital tonight, I don't know, but for the minute we are at home and seeing how this nap goes. I'm just going to play it by ear. What a day.
I have to tell you.
He's awake. Let's see if there's any sickness that comes with it, because that's what seems to be the general consensus.
We're going to try and get him up slowly and give him time. Just listening. Come on, please, no sickness. We still haven't heard back from the bloods, by the way. We're hoping to hear back from his full bloods today, but if we don't, then we've been told to assume that nothing's wrong. And in terms of his blood films, we should hear them back in the next 48 hours because they've got to get up to Gosh into their lab and be tested. But first milestone is today's bloods.
So we managed to escape any sickness after his nap today, and then we literally just spent the whole rest of the day chilling on the sofa, just letting him play when he wants to play and letting him watch the phone when he wants to watch the phone. And he was just like super cuddly, but in an okay position, to be fair. But we are physically, mentally and emotionally exhausted, so we're just going to have some dinner. Both our phones on all night, watching him, just making sure that he is okay and doesn't throw up in the night. We didn't hear anything regarding his full blood, so we are hoping that's a good news, as that's what they said to us. If we don't hear from them, then not to worry, and it just means that they didn't have time to contact us, which we're praying for that, but we are going to chase it up tomorrow. Other than that, we both need some rest and time to await these big results of the blood films. That will give us a little bit more of an indication of whether Teddy has relapsed or not, or whether it's something else that needs looking into.
We started a new day in the Bridge household with once again no understanding of where this day will take us. But one thing we did know is that we were on a mission, and that mission was to de-Christmas our house for two reasons. The first being because we were completely over the festive period, as it had been tarnished with fear, uncertainty and the unknown. But secondly, as we know with all things in cancer, when it happens fast, and everything needs to be dropped when a plan is put in place. So Katie and I wanted the decorations down and our house back to normal, just in case of any more imminent hospital trips, short term or long term. It didn't matter, we needed it down for our own sanity. So by 7:24 AM on the 27th of December, the decorations were back in the loft and a good job done. Meanwhile, the little cub that was throwing up, lacking energy and showing very worrying symptoms was just being Teddy, forever testing our emotions.
Be careful, please. This kid hasn't eaten anything all morning. This is why it's an emotional rollercoaster. 1 minute he's like this, you're like, oh, he's going to be okay. Next minute he's throwing everything up and on a one-way ticket to hospital. But it's good to see, even though he's creating absolute carnage. But carnage is okay at home. Give me strength. And then the next moment he's like this, sitting in front of a plate, not eating anything. It really, really is an emotional rollercoaster, and the apprehension of waiting for these results is just astronomical. So this morning we woke him up, and to give you a bit of an update, if you didn't see our last video, basically we're in a situation where Teddy was extremely symptomatic, a lot linking up with a potential relapse, being off balance, not eating or drinking much, being sick in the mornings or when he wakes up from a nap, slightly slower paced, slurring of some words 1 minute, and then the next minute he seems absolutely fine. He's also complained in the past of having bright lights. We aren't saying it is relapse because we don't know, but it led us into hospital all day yesterday on Boxing Day, having full blood checks. Bloods have been taken, sent up to Great Ormond Street Hospital to do blood films, which is where we will find out if there is anything in his blood or any blasts of cancer that can be seen. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at, up to speed. Something that we've noticed this morning is that anytime he is potentially sick or feeling sick or showing signs of being sick, i.e. gagging, is after his nap. We don't have any information. We don't know if it's relapse. We don't know if it's anything to do with his low iron levels. We don't know if he's just got a cold. But the only time he shows signs of sickness
is when he wakes up. So we started to bring him around a little bit slower. So rather than him get out of bed and jump straight to activities, we basically controlling the situation and sitting on the chair with him for like 15-20 minutes, allowing him to watch a TV and just chill and kind of become accustomed to the day. And today we escaped a sickness. He woke up at 5:30 and I went and got him slowly. He said he wanted to go downstairs straight away and didn't want to go in bed with mummy, which is the usual routine. The minute I took him out of bed, it went a little bit like all dreary and then showed signs of being upset and making the same noises he does when he is going to be sick. And I just stuck him on the chair with me and we watched the phone for 15 minutes and all of a sudden he wanted to come downstairs, and then he was running around playing with his toys, singing Old MacDonald Had a Farm at the top of his voice, and was fine. Yes, he hasn't eaten anything, but it could be something to do with these low iron levels, because low iron makes you a little bit delirious, makes you weak, can make you pale, can make you off balance and feel like you're going to faint, all those things. And so because his iron levels are low, this whole thing could be that. It could be relapse, it could be a fever, it could be any of the above, which is the worst thing because we don't have any answers. We're just sitting ducks waiting for these results. But that's a little brief update for you guys in terms of where he's at and where we're at. And we are just going to sit at home today and just allow him to expend energy when he wants to, have access to food and drink when he wants to, and just not stretch him too far. But we are certainly very apprehensive and nervous in this Bridge household. And yeah, enough waffling. Let's get on with this day.
Oh, MacDonald had a farm.
Can you sing?
I can't.
What about you sing? Rah, rah, rah. There's your little karaoke machine up there. It's the start of your singing career, mate. Can you do it? And with a little bit of persuading, he couldn't wait to get behind the mic. Yeah, that's amazing! Well done! There's no stopping him now. He's on a one-way ticket to the stage. Get in. He's finally eating something. It's 10:05, which is good because he has been an abundance of energy this morning, having not eaten anything. I've tried chips, I've tried some snack, about 4 different snacks. I've tried toast, I've tried potato, then I tried more chips, and finally a potato is going in. Just check on him, it didn't sound... He's good. Yeah, finally a little bit of potato is going in. So we have energy or some sort of substance going into my boy's stomach, which is good. Another milestone met. Now we've just got to keep it down. Whether you're in the cancer world or you're not, when life throws things like this at you, which could affect your whole future, it tests you and your ability to be able to weather the storm and fight through the pain of the present. I always knew these testing times were going to come with our boy and his road to recovery, but if I'm truthful, I didn't think they would affect me like this. I couldn't see any clarity or way to be positive as I was so deep in fear in the future. Every moment I found myself just trying to absorb every bit of my boy. As if we ever did lose him, I would need to know that I tried with everything I had to make the most of him. Yes, baby. I'm sobbing your cuddles, mate. If you haven't ever experienced what cancer does to your life, you may struggle to compute some of my irrational thoughts and emotion, but it's something I don't expect people to understand, because not even I do, and I'm living it. It's merely an uncontrollable action which is caused by the unfathomable fear of losing the most special thing that ever entered your life. I didn't choose it, nor want it, I'm merely just trying to deal with it and navigate my way through this journey the best way I possibly can. So if anyone else is on a journey which is dark, confusing, and doesn't feel like there's any positivity, then just know you're not alone. Let yourself be you, feel the emotions, and as a community, together, we will get through this, and one day, hopefully, it will all be a distant memory. We're going to end that video there. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up on this video, subscribe to our channel, a huge thank you to our Bridge family members, and remember, live for today, as tomorrow is never promised.